Driver condition. The objective of this lecture is to understand the physical and mental conditions of the driver or rider, which are essential for safe driving. These are the main modules which we will discuss in this lecture: medication, fatigue, alcohols, emotions, personality traits, mobile phones and other distraction, vision and perception error, and space management. Medication, fatigue, alcohols. Let's start with the first module, medication, fatigue, and alcohols. Medication. Driving or operating any type of motor vehicle requires a person's attentiveness and the ability to make quick decisions on the road, to react to changes in the environment and execute specific, often difficult maneuvers behind the wheel. When driving under the effect of medication or drugs, driving becomes dangerous and potentially lethal. Almost for every illness, there exists a medication or drug. This includes over-the-counter, OTC, as well as prescribed medication. Many sedative medicines slow perception and reaction time, whereas some of these medicines may react in a manner that makes it difficult for the motorist to drive safely. Commonly, these reactions are drowsiness, blurred vision, dizziness, slowed movements, fainting, nausea. When the driver has to take the medicines, it is always advisable to ask the doctor or pharmacist if these medicines are safe for driving. This is important because some common cough and cold remedies can cause drowsiness. If in doubt, don't drive. To stay safe, it is better to plan ahead and arrange to be picked up by someone who is drug-free, or take a taxi or public transport. Fatigue. Fatigue is an extreme tiredness resulting from mental or physical exertion or illness. Being fatigued significantly increases the risk of a crash. It makes the driver less aware of what is happening on the road and impairs their ability to respond quickly and safely if a dangerous situation arises. Fatigue is a likely factor in a high number of single vehicle crashes, involving a vehicle striking any rigid object or severe head-on collision. Fatigue or tiredness. Being tired is not the same as being fatigued, and the difference matters. It is important to recognize the difference between tiredness and fatigue, because fatigue is a marker that the body is not able to keep up. People who are tired still have a fair bit of energy, but are apt to feel forgetful and impatient and experience muscle weakness following work, which is often improved by rest. People who are fatigued, on the other hand, experience difficulty concentrating, anxiety, a gradual decrease in stamina, and increased sensitivity to light. Many people think fatigue or tiredness is only a problem for long-distance drivers. However, it is just as relevant for short-distance drivers. People generally do not become fatigued from driving. Usually, they are already tired when they get behind the wheel. If they continue with this, it may lead to crashes. Causes of fatigue or tiredness. There are many factors that lead to fatigue. Commonly, it is caused by lack of sleep, long working hours or shift work, excess or lack of physical activity, unhealthy eating habits, jet lag, medications such as cough medicines, use of alcohol or other drugs. Symptoms of fatigue or tiredness. Fatigue is easy to detect, with symptoms that include driver feels exhausted, constantly yawning, eyes are closing, getting fuzzy or sore eyes, faces difficulty in concentration, feels strained and has trouble keeping head up, starts daydreaming, feels sleepy, nodding off, or does not remember driving along the last few kilometers of the road. Remember, if the driver experiences any of these symptoms, it is very likely that their driving performance is already impaired. Fatigue effect on driving. Fatigue has a huge impact on driving. It can affect the driver's ability to drive safely, similar to the effect of drunk driving. The most common effects of fatigue on driving are lack of concentration, slow reaction time, difficulty keeping a vehicle in lane or drifting off the road, more frequent and unnecessary changes in speed, and reduced vigilance and poor judgment. Tips to prevent fatigue or tiredness. The best way to prevent fatigue or tiredness is by sleeping. Motorists must consider not driving when tired. The other ways to prevent fatigue on a long trip are: get plenty of sleep before the trip. Share the driving whenever possible. Don't travel for more than 8 to 10 hours a day. Take regular breaks, at least every 2 hours. Don't travel at times when you'd usually be sleeping. And take a caffeine drink or 15-minute power nap if you feel yourself becoming drowsy. Remember, the only real cure for sleepiness is proper sleep. A caffeine drink or a nap is a short-term solution that will only allow you to keep driving for a short time. Alcohols. Alcohol is a depressant drug which slows down the activity of the central nervous system, including the brain. When alcohol is consumed, it is rapidly absorbed into the blood and distributed throughout the body, which affects the central nervous system. Research has proven that even small amounts of alcohol affect drivers' judgment and their ability to drive safely. It is determined by blood alcohol concentration, BAC, which is the percentage of alcohol in the blood. In the UAE, there is no tolerance for driving after drinking, which means the allowed blood alcohol concentration, BAC, is 0%. Drivers under the influence of an alcohol or narcotic substance are considered as high-risk offenders and will be referred to the public prosecution for the penalty. According to UAE law, important rule: drivers must not be under the effect of alcohol or drugs. Article 10.6 UAE Federal Traffic Law No. 21, 1995. In UAE, driving under the influence of alcohol is punishable by law and includes 24 black points along with the fine, which will be decided by the court. Alcohol effect on driving. Alcohol has a major impact on driving. It can affect the driver's ability to drive safely. The most common effects of alcohol on drivers' ability are: vision. Alcohol can slow eye muscle function, alter eye movement, and alter visual perception, possibly resulting in blurred vision. Night vision and color perception can also be impaired. Confidence gives a false sense of confidence, which may encourage to take risks. Tracking decreases the ability to judge the car's position on the road or the location of other vehicles, centerline, or road signs. Concentration makes it difficult to concentrate and do more than one thing at a time. Reaction time slows reflexes, which can decrease the ability to react swiftly to changing situations. Perception, difficulty in judging risk, including distance and the speed of own and other vehicles. Decision-making makes it difficult to anticipate and decide precisely. And coordination. Reduced eye-hand-foot coordination can be caused by drinking too much alcohol. Alcohol and drugs affect different people in different ways and can affect the same person at different times in different ways. In the following clip, you can watch how alcohol can affect the driver's ability to control the vehicle. Remember, when putting keys in the ignition and driving away after drinking, you are not only putting your life at risk, but you are risking the lives of all those you come across while driving. The only safe advice is to never ever drink and drive. Otherwise, take a taxi or have a designated driver.